brace yourselves for original content. No, it's not original content. It's reacting to my Premier League predictions for the season just gone. I know it's a little bit late, but I figured, well, but I did release a video. It should be out by the time you're watching this at the minute, which is just sort of like a season review. So I thought I'd go back to the start and then just, you know, sort of see what I predicted for the season, just see what I put down, who wins the Premier League, etc., who gets relegated. So without further ado, let's just get into it.
What is up, lads and ladies? It's Edward here.
Wow. If there's one thing for certain, I think I need to improve my facial hair. That's dreadful. What was I thinking? And I'm not going to go into too much depth with it, just because, you know, everyone else has done them. Plus, I'm extremely late. So we're going to get straight into... Doesn't change much. I think 20th will be Cardiff, 19th will be Southampton, and 18th will be Huddersfield. Do you know, I actually didn't get far off, to be fair. I mean, I think I put Cardiff down just because they're one of those teams that'll go up and then come back down. And to be fair, I put them 20th. I was out by 2 places. They finished 18th. Huddersfield I put down as 18th. In fact, Cardiff and Huddersfield swapped places, basically. Huddersfield just had a dreadful season, but it's one of them. And then Southampton got 16th. They managed to survive relegation, although I think that was because they had Hassan Huttel. Oh, I've just remembered who I've put. Fulham got relegated, of course, and I think I remember where I put them. In 17th is Watford. Watford have that little... 17th, I put Watford. They had a season that not really anybody expected, so they finished 11th, but they were in good contestant for the European places. That's just a bad prediction. That's 6 places off. And Bournemouth now in 16th. Didn't make Bournemouth in 16th. That's only 2 places off. That's not bad, considering it all. That's not bad. I mean, it's one of those. They just didn't have that big of a season, and I think I really predicted it there. 15th, I do think, is going to be Leicester City, because that's one. That's one really bad one. That's about seven places. Leicester finished 9th. I mean, with Leicester, they didn't have a great start to the season or middle of the season. Puel got fired and they brought Brendan Rodgers in, and then somehow their form got picked back up again, which then brought them back to 9th. But they were 15th for a time, and it was because they didn't have Mahrez in, like I'd have predicted in this video. I've decided to put Brighton in 14th place because they were only 3 places. Brighton was only 3 places. They were just a tough one to predict, but they definitely had a worse off season than I thought they would. They nearly got relegated. 13th, I think, will be Burnley. Another one with 2 places off. Burnley finished 15th at the end of the season, and I do remember in this I said about the fact that they had Europa League at the start of the season, and of course it didn't really factor much into it, but they didn't do a lot of investing, and it obviously did show. 12th I actually will put as Newcastle. Now, 1 away. 1 away. Again, I haven't had the greatest season, but Mike Ashley not being able to, not even not being able to, but he's not invested much with the squad at all. Benitez has been flirting with an exit of the club, but we'll see. I mean, with these new owners that are meant to be coming in. Oh gosh, Newcastle could overtake us. That would be embarrassing. Now the next 2 sides in 10 and 11 are both promoted sides. For 11th, I went with Fulham. Oh, that's the worst one. 11th for Fulham. Why did I think that for Fulham? You need team chemistry for a league, for a different league to what your players are used to, and it obviously showed. And Fulham is the perfect example. They invested too much money into too many players that just weren't good enough. And they didn't have enough time with team chemistry. They sacked, I think wasn't it 2 managers? Why I put Fulham in 11th, I've no idea. 10th, I went with Wolves. Now these 10th with Wolves, I mean, they were an interesting one as well this season. Obviously, they got 7th, so that's 3 positions off. But I did think that Wolves would do quite well this season, purely because of the fact that most of their signings were made by the manager, you know, sort of similar nation, or they've already kept most of the same team that won or did well in the Championship at least.
I've decided to put Crystal Palace because
3 positions off. And I think with them, I think it was the position of the fact that they managed to keep Zaha. I thought they'd do quite well with him staying, and they invested well in terms of like with Mayer and Kiarte, who in the end didn't really do that much for them. I thought Kiarte actually did all right for Palace in the end. Got Wan-Bissaka as well. You know, he was always going to have a decent season because of just how he progressed.
decided to put West Ham quite high up as well because the manager they brought in, Manuel Pellegrini, won the Premier League.
Another one off again. Ah, that's annoying. They didn't have too many bad games with Pellegrini, and I think Pellegrini did what he was meant to, because considering the fact, you know, he's a Premier League winning manager and he's done pretty well with them for the season anyway with West Ham, and they did win some decent games. They played very good football in parts, and I think it was really just the end of the season that really let them down.
Out there for it, I have put 7th as Manchester United.
Well, this is a bit awkward. Oh crap, and I just remembered who I put 6th. I put them in 7th position because I thought, and I was right, Mourinho 3rd year, he never does well with the team in the 3rd year for some reason, whatever it is. Whether it's his ego or his tactics or anything like that. But he didn't do well with them at all. United suffered a lot. They dropped and dropped and dropped and dropped, and I think they got to like 10th at one point. And yeah, that was pretty interesting to see with that. And then obviously they get rid of Mourinho, they bring in Solskjaer, and I think they hired him full time a bit too premature, but I mean they still finished 6th, which isn't too bad. I'm only one off on that again, but they were going to be the team. I think if anybody overtook them, they were going to be the team, and I was right in that respect. And then I put 6th as Everton. Oh, you biased idiot. I didn't think the signings that we made would have the impact they had, definitely. But, you know, we just let ourselves go in too many games. Too many games we could have won, too many games we should have won. We could have got 6th position. I'm not even joking. When we could have had 6th position, we just dropped a lot of points. And I mean, we were 12 points off United in the end. It's just we've got to address it. We have got to address it.
I've actually decided to put Spurs.
That's another one, 2 away. No, I didn't. It's only 1 away. Oh, thank goodness. Oh, crap, my camera's going to die. Why does it always do this? I put them as 5th, but they finished 4th. And to be fair, for a while with Spurs, they could have got into really quite close with the title race. But then, of course, Spurs being Spurs, they bottled it a lot of games that they realistically should have won. But they did well. They did very well. They got to the Champions League final as well, which just shows the quality they've got. And they didn't even make any signings.
Chelsea are going to be 4th. They've lost Courtois.
Alright, that didn't mean much either. So another one off, but I mean, yeah, Sarri managed to do well with them. They still had Hazard, who saved them in a lot of games. To be brutally honest, that he did save them in quite a few games. Courtois, they didn't really miss him. They had Kepa, who actually hasn't done too bad, to be fair. And I think they've got the 3rd most clean sheets in the league. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Arsenal, I decided to put 3rd because the 5 players they brought in, Socrates, Leno, Lichtsteiner.
They're 2 places off. I still put them right in terms of like in the top 6. You know, I didn't think they'd bomb out or anything like that. And I didn't think they'd have a too bad of a season. They won some games. They got to, I think it was the Europa League final as well. Emery's done okay with them this season. It's just going to be interesting to see what happens with their players, because, I mean, Aubameyang, Lacazette did brilliant this season. They formed a really good striking partnership. But Emery, for some reason, always seemed to take one of them out when it was an away game, when realistically, he has them both in. He's going to win a lot more games. So I don't really understand that logic.
But it is going to be Liverpool, just because they've managed to invest in the one position that I've always said, they get that, they're going to be solid title.
I wasn't wrong. Alisson did improve them a lot, and Van Dijk this season was brilliant for them. Unfortunately, as much as I hate to say it, I am so glad that the two I get perfectly right are the two that matter. Obviously, City I put to win the title. They did. Liverpool I put second, and I was right in terms of City. It was theirs to lose because they nearly lost it at one stage, and I think Liverpool somehow blew a 10-point lead on City. So yeah, it was a very, very good title race this season. It was never, neither team was out of it, at least for very long. So that just sort of shows the quality that both sides have got, both managers have got, and unfortunately Liverpool won the Champions League, but they didn't win the league. That's what matters. But I think it's going to be very, very interesting. I think it's going to be probably the same, if not a more competitive title race next season. But yeah, that was very interesting in terms of predictions wise. I was one or two off most of the time, so that's a bit of consistency, but the two I got right were the two that mattered, so that's all that matters to me. So if you've enjoyed this video anyway, please leave a like, leave your comments down below, don't forget to follow all the social medias down below, and we'll see you in the next one, which should be sometime soon, I don't know, but we'll see. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Adios.